Good morning, everybody. This is Mark Pereira. I'm here in my backyard. See, we got some storms coming in, wind and stuff like that. We're in the desert, so it's not going to be anything major. So the desert is definitely going to get a little bit of rain today, though. It'll be nice. It needs to happen. Been needing that. Got some winter storms coming in further up north. It's kind of got me off work today because I had a tour up there. But the thing is I want to talk to everybody about is some of the updates first that we have for the Norna Society. There's a lot of stuff happening. So we have the Avonlogger book came out recently. That's our book of law. Put that together, pieced all of the law codes together, really showed using our epic method how these things correlate, how they all correspond with lore and sagas and all these different things. You know, there's a lot of research, a lot of work put into that. We have Kvasir Academy that's moving forward by leaps and bounds. It's just incredible. This is really the most extensive thing I've probably ever done. We're putting a lot of work into it, a lot of detail into it, a lot of things that are really going to make this probably the most prestigious course for Goldar that's ever been created by anybody. And I say that just because we're putting so much into it. It's like hundreds and hundreds of hours into building this. So it's going to be huge, you know, really, really a big deal. And the thing I wanted to talk to everybody about is a conversation my wife and I were having last night about our kids, right? And the thing is, you know, as a dad, I'm super proud of my kids. My kids are my world. I build everything for them. I do everything I can for them. And I really try to be the best that I can be for them, you know, and that's my job. That's what my duty as a father is to make sure that my kids are really, you know, progressing and moving forward as successful adults. And a lot of people ask me questions about being a parent. They ask me, like, you know, advice for this and that. And I'm always willing to help people to give advice. But the main thing, the one thing that I would tell you that's the most important thing in the world that you can do as a parent is stay together. It's really, I know that sounds simple, but it's really number one. You know, that's made the rest of it pretty easy. You have to be there for them. You have to love them, and you have to stay together. And that's it. That's how it works. You know, that's how it's supposed to work. That's what nature imbued into us to make it work. My wife and I are coming up on our 20th anniversary. We've been married, you know, forever, and we're going to stay married. We're never going to divorce. We're never going to split up. It's really not an option for us. And the thing is that people have to put their egos aside, especially when you have kids. You have to put your egos aside and you have to start asking what is the most important thing. And the most important thing is not your happiness when you have children. You know, I can understand if you're like married and you don't have kids and whatever, it's like, okay, that didn't work out or whatever. If you have no plans on having kids, you should have plans to have kids. But if not, you know, then it's not that big of an issue. But when you have kids, then your happiness is not as important as theirs. It's not even about their happiness. It's about their success. It's about them growing up in a great household and, you know, living together as a family and being, you know, successful adults. And, you know, we fight and we've had issues before, and any normal couple would have. It's not like that doesn't happen. And sometimes things can get a little bleak, you know, but you push through it, you power through it, you make it work, you do what you can, you build up your family as much as you can. And, you know, now my daughters, you know, they all fight jujitsu. They're learning like a third language. They all are bilingual. They speak French now. And my 16-year-old is learning Latin. And so it's a really amazing thing to see my 16-year-old start to become an adult, and she's starting to become autonomous, and she's starting to drive, and she's starting to do all these things, and she's becoming successful. You know, she's doing okay, and there's no problem, and it's like not a magic formula. It's just nature. You just follow nature's course. You do what you're supposed to do. You follow what you're supposed to do. You stay together as a couple. You work through all the problems and the issues. You build up your family. You love your kids, and you be there for them. And that's it. You know, it's not rocket science. You know, it's everybody's always looking for some magic thing. You know, got to go read 50 books or whatever on how to raise a kid, and it's pretty easy. You know, you just make sure they're fed, you make sure they're cared for, and you watch out for them, and you do what you got to do. You know, And so that's just something I wanted to talk about today, because it's it's something that kind of defines me as a human, just to be a dad and to take care of my girls and to watch them grow up and become adults. And now my wife and I are kind of looking forward to becoming grandparents and all that stuff. And it's an exciting time when they'll get a little older, and we can be there for that, and we can enjoy that part of life. Still got a little bit more work to do to get them out the door and get their life moving forward. But one thing that I do know is that none of my kids are on drugs, none of them are pregnant, none of them are having problems, none of them are going to jail or anything like that. None of that's happening, and it's not even on their radar. It's not even anywhere near their radar. My daughter wants to go to college. She wants to become a psychologist. She wants to do things with her life. She wants to get married, wants to have kids. She's got her head on straight. And that's because her mom and her dad were there for every step of the way. And we pushed her and we helped her and we did things for her, and we kept in line with our faith and with our morals and values. And we never compromised on that. We never back down, and you have to know when to say no. You don't just let them run roughshod over you, and you make sure that they're on the right path, and you have to correct them, and you have to move them in the right way when they're steering off the way. And if you don't, then they can become spoiled. You don't want that. So that's just some of my parenting advice in the middle of this windstorm that's coming through, or whatever it is, in the middle of the desert. So, like I said, great things are coming in the society. There's, we're just building and building. Kvasir is growing. Everything is kind of building up, and we're really gonna be making all of this stuff come forward and make this. Everything that we're trying to build is really starting to come to fruition. And there's still more to come, though. We're gonna keep going. We're not gonna stop. So with that, everybody have a great day.